They laughed during her first class. By the second week, no one did. At first, it was just noise, nervous laughter, quick, harmless. But it filled the room like heat. She stood at the board, marker frozen mid-word, pretending not to hear the jokes behind the coughs. The board gleamed too clean. Her handwriting was too careful. Everyone could tell. She was new, and they smelled it. She tried to start over. Asked a question. Silence. One kid in the back mimicked her voice under his breath. Another one filmed it. The kind of moment that sticks to your skin long after the bell rings. At lunch, she sat in her car with the windows cracked, listening to the hum of engines and laughter outside. Her coffee was cold. She practiced one line again and again. How to sound firm without trembling. She still believed she could turn it around. They were just kids. That's what she told herself. By Thursday, someone had changed her presentation title to Baby Teacher 101. It flashed on the projector before she noticed. She said nothing, just switched it off, took the marker, and rewrote the topic. Her hand didn't shake this time. She stopped smiling by Friday. Her voice got lower, slower. The jokes didn't land as often. Something in her eyes made them back off, even if they didn't know why. The red pen clicked once. A small, sharp sound that broke the quiet. That sound stayed. It became part of her. Every time she picked it up, the class stilled a little faster. They didn't understand yet, but she had already made her decision. No more trying to be liked. She didn't talk about it with other teachers. She didn't go to the counselor. She just graded. Every mark in red was steady, deliberate, exact. Like she was rebuilding something they'd tried to take from her. By the end of the second week, when she walked in, the laughter didn't come. Only chairs sliding back into place. And that soft, metallic click, the one that meant the lesson was about to begin. They started calling her Miss Chill, half joke, half dare. It was meant to sound friendly, but everyone knew it wasn't. She smiled the first few times, said, "All right, let's focus," and kept the tone light. She wanted to believe they'd grow out of it. But every class had one voice that pushed too far, testing how much silence she could carry before breaking. She stayed after school most days, rewrote lesson plans, left feedback on essays until her eyes blurred. She told herself respect was earned, not demanded. Still, she caught her reflection once in the dark window. A 24-year-old pretending to be someone older, steadier, unshakable. When grades came due, she tried something new. One-on-one feedback sessions, 10 minutes each. The first student scrolled his phone the whole time. The second called her Sarah instead of Miss Carter. The third had copied an entire paragraph from a site she recognized, almost word for word. She didn't react, just circled the section with her red pen. "Where did you get this?" He shrugged. "Online, I guess. Everyone uses the same stuff." That word, everyone, stayed in her head all night. At home, her laptop glowed in the dark. She searched the line he'd written and found it. Same phrasing, same comma mistake, buried in a database she'd used in college. Then another essay. Same tone, same rhythm. Two different students. Same stolen source. Her stomach didn't twist this time, it steadied. By morning, she had a folder, every essay, every repeated phrase. She didn't tell anyone. She just printed the pages, stacked them in her drawer, each one landing with a soft, final sound. Proof building, one quiet page at a time. In class, the tone shifted. They still joked, but quieter now. Something in her calm unnerved them. She stopped laughing altogether. Her red pen clicked once before every lesson, like a warning. When one of them asked, "Why do you even care that much?" she didn't answer. She just looked at him for a second too long. And in that silence, he realized she wasn't angry. She was collecting. They stopped joking when she started grading slower. Every mark she made was quiet, almost mechanical. She'd circle a phrase, tilt her head, then keep going. No comments, no explanations, just red lines. The The students began to glance at one another, unsure if she was angry or just done pretending. At night, she opened her laptop and searched the same sentences they'd written. The screen filled with familiar paragraphs, recycled essays, copied conclusions, the same fake citations. One after another. The pattern was too neat to be coincidence. She remembered using that same plagiarism database in college. Free version, limited searches. The usernames were different now, but the phrasing was identical. Someone had passed down the files. A legacy of shortcuts. Her fingers hovered over the mouse. For a moment, she thought about calling the principal, maybe the parents. Then she stopped. That would turn it into a story about discipline, not truth. She copied every file instead. Date, author, link, all in a new folder named Integrity. Each save came with a small click, the same sharp sound as her pen, only colder. No one knew what she was building. Every night, the folder grew heavier, like a secret she didn't have to justify. In class, she said less. The silence stretched longer between questions. Even the loud ones started checking themselves. When one boy joked about sharing notes, she didn't flinch, just looked at him and said, "Make sure they're your own." That night she found the shared document, a Google link embedded in a file's metadata. The folder had 10 contributors, all from her class. Her cursor hovered over the list of names. She didn't click report. Not yet. Instead, she sat back, listened to the faint hum of the building, and clicked her red pen once. The sound broke the quiet like punctuation. She wasn't planning revenge anymore. She was building evidence. The next morning, she printed the essays. One stack for her, one for the board. The printer's rhythm filled the room, steady, final, unhurried. When the last page slid out, she exhaled and shut the lid. Her hand lingered on the warm paper, calm, certain. The decision was made. The hallway smelled like disinfectant and nerves. The folder was under her arm, red tab, neat label, pages clipped tight. She didn't knock, just walked in. The assistant principal looked up, halfway through a sentence, surprised by her calm. "Miss Carter," he said, careful now. "You asked for a meeting?" She nodded once, set the folder down, and stepped back. No tremor, no rush. Inside, the paper spoke for her. Duplicate essays, matching sentences, the same typo copied 10 times. Her students' names typed neatly on top. No anger in her voice, no need for one. Just the quiet weight of proof. The board members whispered to each other. Someone cleared his throat. Another adjusted her glasses, pretending not to be impressed. They asked questions, when she'd noticed, how she'd found it, if she'd told anyone. She answered each one the same way. No assumptions, just patterns. While they read, she watched the light shift through the blinds. Thin, striped, clinical. Down the hall, a locker slammed. It sounded distant, almost like punctuation. The call went out that afternoon. Meetings, emails, parents. The class chat exploded. Screenshots flew. The jokes turned into panic. Who ratted, who copied, who saved the files. She didn't answer messages. She didn't even open them. Her phone stayed face down on her desk, silent. The only sound was the click of her red pen, once, then again. When she entered class the next morning, the air felt different. No one looked up right away. The laughter had gone flat. A few kids tried small talk. Others just stared at their screens. She opened her notebook, wrote the day's topic, and started the lesson like nothing had changed. Halfway through, a voice cracked. "Did you tell them?" She kept writing, eyes on the board. "I told the truth," she said, soft, steady. No one moved. Even the clock seemed to hold its breath. She capped the red pen and set it down. The silence didn't feel empty now. It felt earned. Outside, footsteps echoed, summons, consequences. Inside, everything finally stopped fighting her. The classroom was quieter than it had ever been. Morning light came in pale through the blinds. catching the edge of her desk. The red pen lay there, same one, same sound waiting in it. She straightened a stack of essays, the last of the resubmissions. No jokes now. Every student had turned something in on time. Some still avoided her eyes. Most didn't. The air felt heavier, but cleaner. No tension left, just consequence. The seats were filled, but it felt like a different class entirely. She started the lesson like any other. Wrote a quote on the board, asked a question, and for the first time, someone answered without hesitation. Then another voice joined. Then another. No one filmed. No one laughed. When the bell rang, a few students stayed behind. Not to apologize, they didn't have words for that, but to hand in late essays, to ask if they could try again. She nodded, said of course, like it was nothing. But something in her shoulders softened. At lunch, she sat in her car again, same spot as before. The air outside buzzed faintly with traffic and voices. She didn't rehearse anything this time. No self-talk, no defensive breathing. Just the sound of quiet, the kind that feels earned. By Friday, the official emails went out. Academic probation, revoked privileges, tutoring requirements. None of it surprised her. What did surprise her was how ordinary it felt. Justice didn't come with fireworks, just a little more stillness when she walked into the room. On Monday, a student held the door open for her. Another said, "Good morning." Small things. Enough. She clicked the red pen once. Not a warning now, just habit. The sound carried through the same four walls that once shook with laughter. A few students looked up. No mockery, just quiet focus. She began grading, calm, steady, deliberate, exactly how she'd imagined it. The pen clicked again, closing the lesson. Outside, voices rose and faded. Inside, respect didn't speak. It simply stayed.